Hello friends, this is the Cryptonian. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday. Today's the 24th. I hope your weekend's going good. I had a good day, just spending some time with the family. And so I hope you're doing well. Maybe you're at the beach, maybe you're spending time with friends, family, whatever you're doing. I hope you're safe and enjoying yourself. Talking about the market here, before we get into Bitcoin, let's take a look at the bubbles. Here on the monthly, we can see WeMix up 113% huge, XRD 25%, CAS 20%, Tone 61%. That was a big mover recently. Maker 24%, Aave 10%, and Link 18%. The rest of the market you can see is somewhat lackluster. So that being said, for the week, we mix up 106%, crazy. XRD 21%, CRV 9.8%, IMX 12, FTT 7.7%. I think that was on some news with Coinbase. Aave up 6%, Link 15%, of course, no surprise. Link is the primary oracle and is connected to just about every significant project that you can think of in crypto. So uh, Link was not long ago sub $6, and in the previous run hit close to 50. If it, I think maybe it was 50. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below, but I think it was 50. And so Link now is $7 something. Uh, Taking a look at the daily, daily's pretty flat except for WeMix. And yeah, so whenever Bitcoin is slow, boring, moving to the side, um, not going up, not going down, just kind of going sideways, doing the crab walk on the chart, then you'll see a lot of the attention will move to some specific altcoins, and then they'll have massive days because traders get bored and then they want some action. Taking a look at fear and greed index. Fear and greed index 44. It was 30 not some time ago, a few days ago, and it's up to 44 now. So because Bitcoin is kind of hanging in that area, we'll look at the chart, but Bitcoin's not breaking down yet. So it had a small pullback, but it's consolidating, giving the idea that we may go higher, and so this is giving the market a little bit of comfort, I guess, or support. But there will be, in my opinion, I think this is going to change. I think we're going to go back down into the fear, and I'll tell you why. Um, Taking a look at Twitter X on my account, I made a video about this with Cardano. This is just kind of a snapshot of the idea that I presented in the video for Cardano. If you want more information, you can just watch the video. But this is kind of the gist of it. Cardano now in 2023 showing a triangular pattern almost identical to the pattern that Cardano was showing in 2020. And of course, you know, Cardano exploded in 2020 right out of this pattern. So, could we have the same kind of reaction this year? Things have changed a little bit. Cardano's a little bit more mature. There have been some significant market changes across the board. But let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Cardano could do the same thing, kind of explode from here? If you're interested in Cardano, um, you know, creating a position probably would not be a bad idea. But just understand that if Bitcoin drops, everything else will drop, including Cardano, and you could have some opportunities to purchase a little bit lower than where it is now. Although Cardano's really beat up. I mean, it's down 22, or excuse me, 92, 94%, something like that. So that is just something to consider. So that being said, let's get into Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently 26,566. You can see here we have a little bit of indecision here. This is on the daily. Let's move to the 4 hour. The 4 hour, let me do this. There we go. So here on the 4 hour, you can see that we're just going sideways. We're putting in some consolidation here. And I think this is what's giving the market a little bit more confidence. And, uh, and that's why you're seeing some of the altcoins pop while Bitcoin is just going sideways. Now, what I think what's happening here is the expectation is that this coming week we may see another test of that upper resistance that was rejecting the price before, and we haven't really had a chance to really test it because it didn't make it to that point here. Well, I guess it did test it once here, barely, and then we just kind of went down from there. Now, technically, from a technical perspective on the 4 hour, we are bearish. Or yeah, we're bearish. We're in a downtrend. I wouldn't say bearish. We're just in a correction. So we have the S2 signal. That's the last signal. We did get an early reversal signal, S1. So Bitcoin right now is trying to uh, put in a reversal and a correction to the downside. Although there's just not a lot of interest in selling right now. So that means that everyone is pretty much waiting for this coming week to see what happens. Now, taking a look at the Cryptonian volatility mod, we can see that had a little bit of a expansion here, and that was this little itty bitty push higher here, and then it just kind of rolled over. So this is showing a lot of weakness, but more sideways consolidation than anything. Now, what I want to bring to your attention in this video is this right here. This is the Cryptonian correlation tool. I created this one as well. And this tells you or shows you visually how closely correlated two asset classes are or two charts are, right? And right now here on the 4 hour, you can see that this is 0.7. So this is sufficient correlation that if there's a significant change in one, it will affect the other. Okay? Now, which one is this? Well, when we take a look here, we can see that the NDX, the NASDAQ, is what the correlation is what Bitcoin is correlated with. So we need to be really careful here. Um, I definitely would not be aggressive here at this point, expecting to go higher, because when we take a look at the NDX, we can see this, and this is the point of the video here. NDX. There we go. NDX is currently, let's move to the daily. You can see that the NDX here is currently right here getting ready to break support. We can see that we had a nice run higher and then we put in a top, came down, we bounced, were rejected twice after testing it twice, made a lower high, and now we're rolling over, and you can see that we're right here getting ready to break that previous support. When we take a look at the correlation between Bitcoin and NASDAQ on the daily, we see that it's 0.74, 0.75, and that's sufficiently correlated that if the NASDAQ does break down, then Bitcoin most likely would be affected. Now, that being said, excuse me, moving to the weekly, you can see that the correlation actually increases. Look at this. Correlation increases to, let's see, 0.90. So talking about the correlation here, a correlation of 1 is perfect correlation, meaning they move together. A correlation of 0 is they don't move together, they're not correlated. And so this coming in at 0.91, highly correlated on the weekly chart here. So although there may be some variations, okay, on the daily, on the weekly they're highly correlated. So if if the Nasdaq here breaks down, and it looks like it's getting ready to break down, it'll probably come down and try to bounce at the 30. This is about a 2.5% drop. That will affect Bitcoin. And then if that doesn't hold, it'll come down to the 50 moving average, which is right above this previous local high here. That was a previous local high, now providing support. So we could see the price over the next few weeks come down and bounce a little bit, and then decide whether it wants to go lower or not. But that's going to affect Bitcoin. So that is the downside risk. That is the downside pressure that's possible for Bitcoin, unless Bitcoin, for a brief period of time, decouples from NASDAQ and pushes higher and has some kind of a breakout. But we're not really interested in small moves or small breakouts. We're interested in long term trend reversals, right? And so, what I don't see is I don't see the potential for a long term reversal as long as the NASDAQ is going down. Okay, so I don't see Bitcoin going back to 30,000 if the NASDAQ has downside pressure. So that is my concern. Now, what does that mean for Bitcoin? Well, that means that the previous videos that I made with the price targets are still in play. Still in play. Although it's hard to imagine Bitcoin breaking this 200 moving average because, excuse me, there's a lot of support. There's over a month of support here. So if the Nasdaq goes down, Bitcoin may, I don't know, may retest the 200 moving average at 24,600, something like that. Let's see. Okay, this is on the weekly. Let's go back to the daily. And there we go. So we do have a Fibonacci support where we are now, and that's right above the previous price action here down in this area. So that's why Bitcoin is trying to hang on to this area, this range right here. If we lose that, if we lose that, then I do think that we could be retesting 24,900 or 25,000. Now, on the 4 hour, we have a little bit more specific targets. And so we can see here on the 4 hour, and this is not a surprise. I've talked about this before. If we drop down to 26,195, about 26.2K, then we'll be at the top of the golden pocket. And then after that, the bottom of the golden pocket, 25,880. So we could drop down to a range of 25,900 to 26,200. That would be the golden pocket. So if the Nasdaq starts applying downside pressure, we could drop down to this node here. Now this is the point of control on the 4 hour. 26,050 needs to hold if we're going to stay bullish here and make another attempt at that resistance area just above up here. Okay. Now, if this does not hold, if this golden pocket does not hold, then most likely we would then drop down and retest this 25,500 or even 25,000, even 24,900. Okay. Now, I think that's going to take a lot. There has to be a lot of selling in the NASDAQ for that to happen. Could it happen? Sure, sure. Um, but it's not going to be an easy road. It's going to be volatile. It's going to be, Bitcoin's not going to give up easily. We don't have a lot of people wanting to sell right now. So, however, this could favor larger players, whales, institutions that want to purchase lower. I would love to break this 25,000 level and head down to 20K. I would be I would really be purchasing a lot at that point. But yeah. Anyway, there you go, friends. I don't want to make the video too long. You can see over here the market pretty much just going sideways and flat, right? Except for the few coins that we've discussed. RSI 42. We're weak on the 4 hour. Let's go back to the daily here. Okay. So the daily RSI 49. You can see that just above us is this point of control and this node that we lost. So if Bitcoin loses this area, breaks this 25 and goes lower, then it's possible that a lot of people that purchased in this volume node just ahead of, above price, once they start feeling the pain of being in the red and losses increasing, they could start selling, and then that would add cascading downward pressure on the price. I'm not saying that's going to happen right now. I'm just saying that's possible. So RSI 49, it's really at midline, neutral, neither bullish nor bearish, not strong, not weak. It's midline. EMA, bearish. EMA bearish, although we are under a temporary early signal of an uptrend, attempt at an uptrend reversal. B1, that's the B1 signal, but we're still under a S2 signal way up here. Remember that? Way up here. We're still in a downtrend because of that S2 signal is confirmation of trend. And you can see that the structure has not really changed because we're just putting in a lower high. We need to get above the point of control at 27,350, and then we have to get above 27,800, take out that previous lower high, and then that would be a confirmation of a trend change, and we would be able to go higher at that point. DMA bearish, and that's because of this little pullback here from the resistance line. Remember, the DMA is an early signal, and it does see a lot of volatility. Contraction, expansion. We're in contraction, so we pushed up, and now we're contracting to the downside, and we're in reversal, meaning that impulse to the upside, this move here to the upside, is now being reversed. So volatility very low at 7. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Tomorrow we may get an idea. Tomorrow this weekly candle will close. We may see a rally tomorrow into the close. We may see a rally tomorrow evening when everyone kind of gets back from doing what they're going to do from the weekend. They take a look at the charts. This candle right here is a gravestone on the weekly, but on the daily we see consolidation. So we may have towards the end of the day tomorrow some buying coming in preparation for a possible break through the week to the upside, right? And so if we see a lot of activity tomorrow, then that's going to be optimism, and that means that a lot of your traders are expecting a possible attempt at pushing higher once again. Now, if we get rejected, that'll be a second rejection. That'll be really bad, and then of course we can pretty much expect to go down to the golden pocket, test that, and even possibly, if that golden pocket doesn't hold, 25K. Thank you, friends, for watching. I appreciate your time. It's valuable. I appreciate you hanging out with me and supporting the channel. Please click like. It really helps out the channel, and it helps others find the channel because YouTube algorithm will pick up on your like and then promote the video. And if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. When you do, please click on the notification bell, and then that will let you know whenever I release a new video. Okay, so thanks again for your time. I hope you have a great weekend tomorrow, finishing out your your weekend, and let's see what happens next week. Hopefully, it'll be exciting, and hopefully, it will be. It'll tell us a lot about what's going to happen price wise. Take care, friends. See you next time.